Hello everyone, and welcome to our forum where candidates incumbent Joe Sterling and Chad Ainsworth will be speaking with our high school students and answering their questions. We are glad to have you all here today. To the candidates, you are here because you want to serve our community and ensure our safety. It's eager to hear your thoughts and ideas. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to get to know you better. We also want to thank you, the school administration, for allowing this forum to take place today. This event involves 4 parts and is formative. First, each candidate will have 2 to 3 minutes to give an opening address for their candidacy. Next, I will read the questions given to me from the Evadale High School senior class, and each candidate will have 2 to 3 minutes to respond. Third, questions that were given from the community will be asked, and each candidate will have 2 to 3 minutes to respond to the questions. Due to time constraints, we may not get to every community question. Finally, both candidates will get an opportunity to give closing remarks. We believe, through open dialogue, that our community will grow stronger and safer for all. Let's not forget the importance of collaboration to make our community the best it can be. Now, let's get started with each candidate's opening address.
Good evening, I'm Joe Sterling. I have been a constable in Precinct 6 since 2013. I started my career out in 1992 when I went to Angelina Police Academy. After graduating from Police Academy, I went to work for Sheriff Roscoe Davis, where I served as a patrol deputy. After Roscoe Davis, Billy Rhodes was elected. While Billy Rhodes was sheriff, I served as patrol, CID, as well as narcotics. And then when Mitchell Newman came in, I went to work for Mitchell Newman, and I worked narcotics. And in 2013, when Constable Robinson passed away, I was appointed a constable here in Precinct 6. And I have served in Precinct 6 since then, and continued to educate myself for the civil service. Civil service is a big part of this job. In fact, a major part of this job. And if these civil papers aren't served correctly, if they're not done in a timely manner, it can get you sued personally as well as it can get the county sued. When the county gets sued, your taxpayer dollars is what pays for that. And some of these papers, you'll hear them say that we get like 90 papers a year, 100 papers a year. That's correct. Some of these papers are very quick to serve. Some of them you don't get served. But when you get these writs are a whole different ballgame. Some of them takes 2, 3, 4 weeks and even longer. You get one of these writs, you got to start out with contacting the lawyer, find out what direction they're wanting to go with these writs. And then you got to get the money, you got to get the totals together and all that. And then once you get all that done, you can make contact with a person. Sometimes this will take 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. And that is the primary part of this job. But I am here for anybody that needs help. I will help anybody that needs here. I will do anything that needs to be done. And I just ask for your vote as Precinct 6 Constable, Jackson County.
Y'all, I can't sit down. My name is Chad Ainsworth. I'm a candidate constable here in Jackson County Precinct 6, Evadale area. Appreciate y'all being here today. I enjoy being able to talk with y'all. Y'all getting 18 years old. Hopefully, if y'all are registered to vote, y'all fix to vote in an election, it's going to affect the beginning of your adult lives. And I think it's great that y'all getting involved in that. A little bit about myself. I've been in law enforcement now for 31 years. Started at the Liberty County Sheriff's Office in the jail and put myself in the academy at night. Since that time, I've worked for several small agencies, and I'm currently the canine sergeant for the Lumberton Police Department. Been there for 10 years. In my career, I've worked everything from corrections to patrol, investigations, narcotics, and of course canine. Canine and narcotics being my favorites of everything that I've done so far. My goal, if elected, is once I retire from the Lumberton Police Department, I will be your full-time, professional, proactive constable. The constitutional duties of the constable are serve the civil process and being the bailiff for the JP Court. I plan on having a really good working relationship with Judge Connor and taking care of business there. But that's not a lot of work when you consider the amount of the salary and the car allowance and things like that that you get if elected. I will have a marked brand new patrol unit and we'll be out proactive patrol our community. We have a lot of things going on around here to kind of go and check due to the location and the lack of resources from the sheriff's office. So I want to be a part of that and help be proactive law enforcement. The other goal that I have, first and foremost, actually, is make sure that I assist with the school district to provide a safe school for y'all. Plain and simple. Y'all all seniors, since you graduated, you probably got brothers and sisters, you got family that teach up here. Y'all should expect to have a safe school up here. Cody Bartosh has been hired as a school resource officer. I've known Cody for years and years and years. My plan is to help him with whatever he needs, in any amount, shape, or form that he needs the help. I plan on being here every day. Again, that goes along with being proactive and making yourself a part of the community. Being part of the community means that you've got to build a trust. Build a trust, you've got to be of high moral character and high integrity, period. You cannot be questioned. Your character cannot be questioned. People have to build public trust in you, and if you ever violate that, your word isn't good anymore, and then you're not as effective as you should be. And my promise to you is that I will be professional, operate with high integrity, and use my experience to make sure that we have a good constable's office. And I appreciate y'all. So thank you.
We have questions from students. Question from J.Lee Drummond. Why do you want to be constable?
I want to be constable because I actually am constable. I want to be re-elected as constable because I enjoy serving the people here in Precinct 6. I've had a good experience with people here in Precinct 6. I've learned everybody here. I have people that help me with lots of things here as far as information, giving me stuff. I've got a good working knowledge with these folks, and I would love to continue to serve them.
I'll say something about that. I enjoy being a police officer, and I enjoy helping my community. In the years that I've been in law enforcement, because of the type of work I've done, it hasn't been real conducive to live where you work. When you're, especially working narcotics and K9, I've had instances in the past, people show up at my house, kids being harassed at school. So I've never had the opportunity to really get to work where I live. This would be a great opportunity for me to do that. When I see a need, I want to fix the problem. And here, the first thing that I see is there's a lot of stuff going on around here that needs to be taken care of. When I come home from work at night at 2 in the morning, there's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of bicycle traffic moving around through Evadale, and I see this stuff and it's like, man, we need some proactive law enforcement. We need to be patrolling. And I want to be here for my community. Since I've been out campaigning, getting to know a lot of folks, I enjoy this. I enjoy being in our community, and I want to be a help to our community and help make sure that our families are safe, our schools safe, and my neighbors are taken care of.
Next question is by Ms. Scott. How do you intend to improve the county as a whole in the 4 years you were in office?
Would you repeat that?
How do you intend to improve the county as a whole in the 4 years you were in office?
I intend to improve the county by getting to know the people better. I already know them pretty well, but getting to know them better, gain their trust more, where they'll give me information, get better educated in my job in civil service to keep myself and the county out of lawsuits as well, and just get out amongst the people and learn them and work with them.
First, it starts with building trust in our community. Second of all, being proactive. I think that any amount of law enforcement that you're out working, that definitely benefits the community. The other part of that is building working relationships not only with our school district, but other law enforcement. One of the things that I'm really big on is training, whether it's going to training or actually training other officers. I've been an instructor for many years. I teach just law enforcement classes. I teach firearms. I teach patrol rifle. I teach active shooter schools. This past July, I was here with another group of deputies teaching the alert active shooter school for Evadale, and we were teaching other deputies on how to respond to active shooter situations. And then later came back and worked with our teachers, with the new teachers that were coming in, or teachers in new classrooms, to try to help them set up the classes and know where the safe spots were in case an incident like that occurred. If you're out doing more than the bare minimum and being a useful part of your community, it's going to help the county as a whole, especially if, like I said, you work with other law enforcement and you build that camaraderie and that trust with them. That way they're counting on you to be there, and you can count on them to be there to help you as well.
Question from Kobe Bauer. How will electing you as constable impact Evadale directly?
It will impact Evadale directly due to I am already educated in the office of constable. I am already educated in the civil service. I've already been amongst the people for 10 years. I've got a working knowledge of the people. I've got a trust in the people. The people have trust in me. And through the education that I have, I can keep this county working, this community and this precinct working in a forward direction.
Can you say the question one more time?
How will electing you as constable impact Evadale directly?
First and foremost, I'll be in the area. I will be here. Again, I will be full-time. I'm going to retire from the Arlington Police Department, and I will be your full-time constable. I will be out patrolling. You will be out. You will see me out riding around. And again, when you got to go back into that public trust thing. That if you're carrying yourself to that higher standard, and your character is you have high character, you have high integrity, the people develop that trust in you, and you're willing to put out the extra effort. Again, you'll see it immediately from day one that I will be directly impacting our precinct.
Question by Natasha Kelly. Going into this position, what are some of the biggest challenges you think you will face as a constable?
One of the biggest challenges you're going to face as a new constable is learning the civil service part of this job. The civil service of this job is very hard. You've got to learn, it's not hard as far as physical, but mentally you've got to know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Because you have lawyers that are out there every day that will file these cases just for you to make a mistake so they can sue the county and get that. Well, when you mess up on that paper, you're not only liable, but the county is liable. When the county is liable, guess who pays for it? The taxpayer pays for it if they win that lawsuit.
I'm fortunate to have as many years experience, full-time, uninterrupted law enforcement experience as I have. Once if you're elected constable, you have to go to first-time constable school. And then every 2 years, you have to go to follow training, which of course, I'm more than happy to do because I do believe in constant training. If you don't stand on your tools, you lose your ability to work right. The other thing is that building relationships that I had. I was endorsed by all 5 elected constables, or 6 elected constables in Hardin County. Those guys have a wealth of knowledge that if something ever come to pass that I wasn't familiar with, all I have to do is make a phone call. The civil service part of it is the #1 priority of the constable. However, it is not the most time-consuming part of the constable. You do have to take care of your business. You work with the JP to make sure his court's better, and take care of all of that. But again, building those relationships and knowing that I can reach out to someone if I come across something that I'm not familiar with, I know we're good.
Question by Blaze DeLong. If elected, what steps are you going to take to fight the drug problem?
I will take steps as far as getting with other agencies. We've got Jackson County we can get with. I have a good working relationship with Orange County. I can get with their narcotics units, we can work with them. We can get with the FBI, we can get with DEA, they're all willing to work. I worked in narcotics for about 10 years for Jackson County, so I do have a working relationship with these folks as well. And we can get with those individuals and help them in their network working. They've got unlimited resources, they've got money, they'll bring their surveillance equipment in here, they'll bring whatever we need to work. So we'll just go through other agencies because our budget does not allow for us to work narcotics. We don't have the money in our budget to work narcotics. But we can get with these other agencies and get it.
Of course, I've been doing this in narcotics canine most of my career. First and foremost is that my canine will be available to work here in Evadale. Once I retire, he's at about 8.5 years old right now. He'll be retired. Once he does retire, I will get another canine. And there's no two ways about it, even if I have to pay for it in my own pocket. Number 2, again, building relationships. I work closely with DPS CID, which is basically DPS narcotics. I've been involved in 2 major cases in the last 7 months, assisting them. One being a fugitive that we found up in Kirbyville, the other being a large drug bust that they called me on, and I got stopped on Lumberton for making it appear. The dealer was from Unit, and he was a top-notch big deal. And we got him knocked down in Lumberton, about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now. The other part of it, as far as is just being in our area, if you're out patrolling and willing to stop a car that looks like it's suspicious, whatever reason you're doing it, you get information on it. If you're willing to get out in your marked patrol unit and stop the vehicle, that's how you start. That's how it all starts. Most of your narcotic work starts off traffic stops. And if you're willing to get out and put out the effort, it doesn't take a lot of money to do that. It just takes effort.
So for these next 5 questions, Mr. Ainsworth is going to answer first, then we'll do Mr. Sterling. So question by Kenny Bruce. Would there be more patrol at 1131 if you became constable?
More patrol.
At 1131?
Absolutely. I live on 1131. I believe, one of the things that we have issues with, of course, I've heard with people call me about it all the time, the cross-traffic motorcycles, running up and down the road, speeders, things like that. But more especially, vehicles primarily coming out of North Battery, come into our area, not looking to do good. Poking around down, looking for stuff to steal. Again, that goes into being proactive. If you're out and being seen, they're looking for the path of least resistance. And if your vehicle is out there and you're actually patrolling, there's resistance. And then it goes not only into whether or not you're out there, but making sure you're not turning a blind eye to something that you see that needs to be addressed. Be willing to work, put out there.
Yes, there will be more patrol on 1131, and I did have a marked patrol unit when I first come to work in Jasper County. Okay, we produce our own insurance for the patrol car. We have our own vehicle. The county does not supply insurance for these vehicles. So I was sitting in the parking lot right over here at the Federal Credit Union, East State Federal Credit Union, in my marked unit. Wreck happened in the middle of the road. One of those vehicles spun off and hit my car. So I called my insurance and I said, look, I've just been hit in the parking lot. I said, I was in the parking lot, I said, steal. I said, my car is marked, I have it marked as a patrol unit. The first thing the lady told me was, your vehicle is improperly insured due to not having commercial insurance on it, which I didn't know at the time we had to have commercial vehicle insurance on this vehicle. And she said, the other insurance company does not have to pay for these vehicles with it being improperly insured if they sell it. So that is why I don't have a marked patrol unit. But yes, I'm up and down 1131 now, and I can go more. Yes, sir.
Question from Laurel. How do you plan to
Can I, real quick, can I address something on that also? On the insurance thing, the county also provides a blanket insurance policy that covers liability issues for employees and vehicles and personal vehicles to protect the county in that situation. So just want to throw that out.
How do you plan to address community concerns and improve safety as constable? How do you plan to address community concerns and improve safety as constable?
First and foremost is being out and being part of the community, going to events, whether it's basketball games, whether it's football games, whether it's just being out and being seen. When you're out riding around, you can stop at somebody's house and say, hi, be a part of your community. I live here. This is where I want to be. I'm not, if elected again, I'm going to retire and do this full time. I'm going to be around. You're going to see me all over the place. And of course, I have a very visible house. Anyone who lives down 1131 knows exactly where that camera fits. It's all the time. They'll know where I live. I'm a boat all the time. And usually on Sundays, y'all see me easing down 1131 on my boat. Just because we like to get out of the house every once in a while to go do that.
Repeat that question for me.
How do you plan to address community concerns and improve safety as constable?
Any concerns that the community has that they bring to me will be investigated, that will be looked into, and we'll take care of them. I am out and about. I am in my personal vehicle. Lots of people don't know me because it is my personal vehicle. But if we have concerns in this community, they call and let me know their concerns. We're going to handle them appropriately and deal with them.
Question by Kenny Bruce. Will you do anything to fix how long it takes for first responders to reach our homes and meet our needs?
Be out, be active. First and foremost, be listening to that radio. Get on the radio. Get on the radio and tell Jasper that you're 10-8, which means you're in service. Be out and about. Have your phone hot. It's that simple. Plus, be about let the community know. Hey, if you got a problem, call me. Call me at the house. I'll be here. One thing about being canine, and for the most part, up until about 3 months ago, I was the only canine in Hardin County until we added a second. I get called all the time from Jasper County Sheriff's Office to DPS to Orange County SO to whoever. I even go on call from all my police department when all their canines are tied up on something. Be willing to come out. And if you're willing to come out, that immediately cuts down on response time. If you're willing to go and try to take care of the problem.
I am out and about, and I will continue to be out and about. And if they call me and they need the first responders at their house, I will go as I have in the past, and I will continue to do. And if they need us, all they've got to do is call.
Question from Clayton Dobbs and Kay Byron. Tell us about yourself. What are some of your interests outside of the job?
I've been involved in sports all my life. I wanted to be a teacher and coach originally. Then life happened, and I ended up doing this. Both paid about the same, so it really wasn't a big difference. Away from work, love hanging out with my family. Teresa and I have got 5 kids total. I've got the prettiest grandbaby that ever lived. No offense, but love playing with her. Outside of that, I love deer hunting. Love going riding buggies, boys, love going to the lake. Love anything outside, work around the house, which if y'all been by my house, I know I gotta get your yard cleaned up. But that's really just hanging out and kind of one of those things where, you've got to decompress and get away from the job a little bit and say, hey, today's my day. I'm gonna take care of me for a little while.
First and foremost, I like hanging out with my family for sure. We always have a good time. Me and my sons both got a motorcycle. We do lots of motorcycle riding, which is something I enjoy doing. Going out around down there in different places. I enjoy doing leather work, which I do from time to time, as well as working on guitar. And just getting away from the job sometimes, just like Chad said, sometimes you just have to get away from it, clear your mind, move forward, and have fun doing something else for a while.
Question by Riley Travis. What is your relevant experience? Relevant.
31 years of being law enforcement. Plus, I've got a master peace officer license. Again, I'm an instructor. Again, just like what I was saying, you have to stay on your tools. If you're not out there working, and you're not out there keeping up with your training, I'm not a big classroom type learning person. I'm a type of person I like to go out and do things. And that's why I enjoyed I had to be a normal police instructor before I could become a firearms instructor, before I could become a rifle instructor, and so on and so forth. I like teaching the application of things. Every Wednesday night, I go train with all my police department with canines. It's the standard in the nation as far as the Supreme Court's concerned that you have to have at least 16 to 20 hours a month of training with your canine. We do more because I don't, when it comes to canine, when you start talking about liability, especially the dual purpose canine, liability is there. I want to be ahead of the game. And we make sure that, with the dual purpose canine, you're talking about narcotics and patrol, which means apprehension, tracking, handler protection, hardware protection, things of that nature. So it's constant. If you're not staying up to date all the time, you're falling behind. And again, I can't even tell you how many hours of training I've got with teaching active shooter schools a lot now. It's required to check that 16 hours every 2 years now. I'm scheduled this month. I think I've got 3 schools that I'm going to be teaching all throughout the area. And I believe that you've got to stay on the training to make sure you're doing the job properly, because law enforcement is constantly evolving. There's new court cases, new Supreme Court rulings coming out, new civil stuff, new civil statutes coming out for civil process. again, you have to go every 2 years to constable school. It's required to have to do it. Stay on top of your game, but do more than the bare minimum.
I've been in law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement since 1992. I've been a narcotics investigator, I've been a patrol deputy, and I've also worked criminal investigation with burglaries, robberies, thefts. And I've also got, which would be relative to this job, I've got all my civil service training, which allows me to know the actual duties, allows me to know how to do the actual duties of this job, which are your civil process and bailiff in the court. And also, we don't only do the civil process for this precinct. The constable is contracted through the county, which is still in the same page, no extra money, is still in the same page. We serve the papers for the entire county. Like, if any paper that comes into Jasper County for precinct 6, the constable of precinct 6 serves the paper. So I would say that my job that's relative to this is I know the civil process into this job.
Question from Samuel Palmer. What inspired you to pursue a career in criminal justice?
You know, I said that I want to be a teacher and coach. I was raised by a teacher and coach. But back in the 80s, the best job I had was working in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice in prison. It paid pretty well for the time. They housed you, they clothed you, and they fed you. It was a great job. And it was hard to get those jobs. Very hard to get those jobs back then. And same as it is now, you don't take anybody. But at the time, I was 18, 19 years old. I thought I was smarter than everybody in the world, or planet for that matter. I decided I want to go to work straight out of high school. I went to work in the fabrication plant, was a welder, became a layout man, ended up becoming a foreman on the evening shift in a fabrication plant. Well, at 22 years old, I knew how to make steel braid. I didn't know how to make other people make steel braid. And after an altercation with the plant manager, I was employed very quickly. And went, it's the only job I've ever been fired from. They actually fired me from it twice, as a draftsman and as a foreman. But I went to work at Liberty County Jail. That was at that time, was the fastest way I could get into a criminal justice type deal. That time I was waiting out, was I going to go to school at night to be a teacher and coach. I was married and kids. Or was I hadn't really thought about this academy until about 2-3 months into the academy, or into the work at the jail. We had to go to a 40-hour jail school. And the deputy from Harris County, still remember his name. His name was Ed Christensen. He passed away several years ago. He was teaching the class, and he said that, look, I'm probably going to call y'all all deputy because I figure y'all want to be deputies. Never even thought about that. I looked at my buddy and I said, what's it take to be a deputy? Go to the police academy. Don't you have to have a college? No. The sheriff will set you on a schedule where you can go at 9. You can go to the academy. And I promise you, I took back then Jefferson County had a 3-phase academy. Went to the first stage, you got the basic reserve, which meant you could act as a peace officer under the direction of another peace officer. So once I got that license, working in the jail full time, going to school during the week, and then on weekends, I stayed in the patrol car, riding the lift. And man, I fell in love. And I thought I liked working in jail until I went working on the street. And then every day I worked in the jail, I felt like I was in jail also. I was trapped. I wanted out. I wanted to go out and make a difference. Back then, like I said, this was the height of the drug war. And so against drugs all my entire life because of family history I had to deal with in my family. I started riding with a canine guy, and that's where I fell in love with that.
I started riding with Tommy Robinson. He was a deputy here back in the 80s. I was probably 14, 15 years old, and I'd ride with some of the other deputies at night. And just through the years, riding with him, it just, law enforcement kind of gets in your blood. You kind of start to enjoy it, and then once you get to where you can do it on your own, getting to help people, assist people in their times of need, and being able to just go out and do the things that you need to do and help everybody, it just kind of makes a love for law enforcement.
Question by Samuel Palmer. What are your strengths as an officer?
I think that it's the the biggest thing is having experience and the knowledge. Number two, being fair. You have to, okay, sorry. Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry. Being fair, understanding that every call is different. Every time you deal with somebody, you want to make sure that you're listening. You can't go to a call with preconceived notions. Now your experience is going to try to help somebody. You're going to have it in the back of your mind. You probably got a lot of this figured out before you get there, but you still have to be open-minded to make sure that you're handling it properly. Again, I think one of the other biggest things is that I still love being a cop. You would think after 31 years that I'd be ready to hang this up and be done. I still love this. I enjoy being a police officer still. Working my dog is the neatest thing in the world. It's pure enjoyment. And as long as I can physically keep doing it, I'm going to keep doing it.
My strengths for this job are the same, comes from experience. All the positions that I've got to work in the sheriff's office, with Sheriff Billy Rowe, Sheriff Mitchell Newman, and Sheriff Roscoe Davis. And being able to deal with people, being able to go out and listen to the stories, being able to figure out which one's in the wrong, which one ain't in the wrong, being able to help a person when you can. It ain't always about putting somebody in jail. It ain't always about putting somebody in prison. Sometimes, you may have a young kid that's made a mistake. You file on that 14, 15-year-old kid, that follows him the rest of his life. Now, there are things that maybe you can't get around filing on him, but there's things that you can help that child with. You don't have to always run somebody's life. This job is about as much or more about helping than it is about filing on people and putting people in jail.
Question by Spencer Street. What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, I'm usually riding around Evadale somewhere, talking to people, or if we've got civil papers, we're out serving civil papers. Sometimes we'll be sitting down trying to put these writs together. I mean, it all depends on what the day brings. Each day brings something different. Most of the time, you're either dealing with papers, riding around talking to people, or just riding around the community.
Work day starts at 2 and ends at 2. Start at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. On my days off, you're likely politics. Part of the deal. But when I'm at work, I'm out trying to be proactive. I'm answering calls, working recs, things of that nature. My wife will tell you I'm a workaholic. I love to work. The problem is, if I'm not working, I'm probably not going to be spending money. So I need to work. I plan on retiring probably after a late lunch day at my funeral. I still, like I said, I still love doing this. So it's usually revolved around work, but when we decide that we're going to go play, we go play hard. We'll take off and disappear, and my wife and I love to go take trips, like to travel. So basically, to be honest with you, I work to go take vacations.
Question by Tristan Bowman. What are upcoming events or current initiatives that you're involved
I couldn't understand the word you said. Not one. You said,
in? What are upcoming events or current initiatives that you are involved in?
Upcoming events that I'm involved in is going to be, we have several benefits around here in Evadale. I'm always involved in the benefits around here. I try to help the community by any way that I can help with a benefit, any way that I can help a family, anything that I can help as far as my job, just helping people. We just did that big benefit not long ago for Ricky, and then which turned out very, very well. So I try to stay involved as far as helping them when people are in need in any way that I can.
We do the same thing. We're out doing any kind of benefits we can help with. Initiatives as far as what I would like to do as far as a constable, again, going out patrol. One of the things that I will institute if elected constable is a vacation check. when folks want to go out of town, they can come up to the office and fill out a card, their address, information on vehicles that they're leaving, any dogs that they're leaving, and leave that card there, and I'll check on their residences while they're out of town. Make sure that everything's secure. Just an added layer or something, again, it just requires a little effort, it doesn't require any money, and just putting out a little bit of effort to make sure that folks' places are taken care of.
Question by Lily Powell. Why do you believe you should be elected over your fellow candidate?
I believe that I should be elected due to the knowledge and experience that I already have for this job. It will be something that can be utilized right then instead of having to wait to go to school. I believe that I should be elected because I've done my job up in here, what the things do. And I just believe that the experience that I already have sets me ahead of my component.
I believe in my experience being first and foremost, but also my drive. I still have that drive to take care of my community. If you can put out the effort and you're willing to sacrifice yourself for the good of everybody else, that makes you stand out. I think that my work experience, 31 years, uninterrupted, continuous service, speaks for itself. And I'm not the kind of person who wants to brag myself. You can ask anybody, I'm the most self-deprecating person you're ever going to imagine. I'll make fun of myself so you won't have an opportunity to do it before me. But I know that I work my tail off, and I will bring that. And I think that my drive and my professionalism, my integrity sets me apart.
These questions are from the community. A big concern in our area is the lack of law enforcement presence. So besides the serving papers or court battle duties, what are some other things you have planned to help make our community a precinct 6 safer?
I plan to continue to ride around just as I do. I plan to continue to watch the neighborhoods. I drive through the neighborhoods on a daily basis. I drive through the community on a daily basis. People call me all the time, from time to time, and sometimes all the time, about concerns they got. I always take care of them. If it's something I can't handle, then I give them to whoever can handle it, whatever the situation may be it something out of law enforcement that needs to be handled by other particular agency that's non-law enforcement. Whatever they need, I get it for them, and I plan to continue to do just that.
Plan on patrolling in a marked police unit. Be out, be available, be proactive. Again, use my relationships that I've got with other agencies, if needed, to address an issue. One of the things that I've been told about with going around talking to folks, there's residences that have been pointed out that are properly selling narcotics. They need to be pointed out and addressed. But be willing to also participate in it. I'm not going to shut that on somebody else. If, for instance, the sheriff's office gets a call, and from sometimes there may be 2 deputies out covering the entire county, and it's a long ways from the south end to the north end. And not saying that again, I'm not talking ugly about the sheriff's office at all. It's just sometimes they may be in a bind and they can't come out and cover a call. I'll be willing to cover that call.
What is the difference between proactive policing and reactive policing? Would you describe yourself as someone who is proactive or reactive, and why?
Proactive is going to be doing it before you doing it on your own. Reactive is going to be doing it after it happens. And yes, in situations I am proactive, in other situations I'm reactive. You can't be proactive in every situation, because lots of times you have to be reactive because you don't know what's happening until it's reported. You cannot be everywhere at one time. So you can be proactive on the things that you're there to see, and then you have to be reactive on the things that are reported.
Being proactive means getting out and being available, being seen, being willing to take care of a problem if it occurs out there. But not only be aware of a problem, but be looking for problems. Be out looking for, like I said, suspicious vehicle at dead end county road, comes driving out. You're on the license plate, it doesn't belong there. It's a pretty good idea, you might want to look at that and see what's going on. Reactive is not actually being out actively patrolling, and just taking calls, just responding to your call. Now there's a lot of times you're not omnipresent, you're not going to be available. This is not mean you can't do that. But you can put out some effort and attempt to be out there and be out there public and be willing to, like I said, take care of a problem when it arises, or be out looking for problems.
How do you prioritize community engagement and collaboration to build trust in the community? How do you prioritize community engagement and collaboration to build trust in the community?
How do you prioritize? To me, building trust in the community is going around talking to the people, learning the people, letting the people know who you are. And through that, you'll build trust. If the people don't talk to you, which I talk to people every day, I make an effort to talk to people every day, whether I have to call and go talk to them or not. I make an effort to talk to someone every day. Because through trust, if you build trust in the people, they're going to come to you and talk to you. They're going to tell you things that they wouldn't tell a person that they don't trust. And if you don't have these people in your community telling you things or willing to tell you things because they don't know you who you are or they don't trust you, then you can't do your job effectively. I don't care how long you've been a police officer. I don't care how many years experience you've got. I don't care how much education you've got. If you don't have the people that will talk to you and the people that will back you, you will never make it in that community.
As far as prioritizing, everything is a priority. You need to address each issue that comes to you as that person's top priority. It may not be seen to you at the time that it is a huge priority, but to that person, it is a priority. So if you address it as such, they build that trust. And that builds that relationship with the community that says, hey, if I call Chad, he's going to take care of this problem. And again, it may seem minute to some folks, but to that person, it is a pressing issue that they need to have taken care of right now. There's just no two ways about it, and you need to put out the effort to do that.
How do constables collaborate with other local government officials to align policing priorities with community goals?
Yes, I collaborate with the sheriff's office. I collaborate with the other county constables around here. We may do it by phone, we may do it by in-person visit, but read the last part of that question to me.
Government officials to align policing priorities with community goals.
We get together, we talk, and the goals, say that whatever goals each community has, we'll get together, we'll discuss them. And from that point, after you discuss them, you figure out an attack. It may be that we all get together and do something to help. It may be that one officer does something to help. It may be that several other agencies do something to help. It's just according to what the goal is that you're trying to meet as to how we collaborate together to figure out what we're going to do.
One of the big things that I've done throughout my entire career is make sure that I'm willing and able to assist other agencies, other departments, things of that nature. When you build that reputation, if someone says, hey, I can call that guy and he's going to take care of the problem, that starts a collaboration. You're able to say, if you see something that says, this crime doesn't know any boundaries, they don't know county lines, they don't know jurisdictions or anything like that. So if you're not willing to reach out to other people and say, look, I got this problem, so-and-so, this is what we got going on there, what do you know about it? I mean, yesterday, the county DA's office called me looking for a victim that they haven't been able to locate and find out she'd been involved in an incident not before the camera. So when you have people that know they can count on you, that's how the collaboration starts. And then you've got to be able to not only be willing to assist them, but to reach out to them because they know, hey, he's got his trust in us, we need to keep our trust in him as well. And it flows through every part of every government agency that you end up dealing with, whether it's DPS, whether it's the county, whatever. And then, for instance, you get a call down on Thomas Road, there's a bunch of junk dump down there. Hey, get with your commissioner, have a relationship with your commissioner. Says, hey, we're having a problem down there. I'm gonna go down there and dig through this stuff, see if I can't figure out who's dumping. If we can get it figured out, I'll let you know that these people are complaining about it, they want to pick it up. If y'all see some inmates down here or something, come pick it up. It's all about trying to work together and building that trust within everybody.
So that's all the questions we have for you. We're going to start with a closing statement, starting with Mr. Ainsworth.
Guys, again, I appreciate this opportunity to visit with y'all. Again, with you seniors, this election, not only locally, but state and federally, is a big election for y'all. If y'all are able to vote, get out and vote. This is going to be your step off into your adult lives, and for at least 4 years. Not only locally, but your state as far as border problems, and your federal as far as your economy. It's things you gotta look at. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk to y'all. I'm glad that y'all are here. Thank y'all for all the questions and putting this together. Thank you to the school district for having us today. Again, my priority is to be part of this community, to be an active part of this community, to be a needed part of this community, to build trust and be respected, and to respect y'all as well. To take care of any problems that you may need that arise, to assist the sheriff's office wherever they may need it, to assist DPS, whoever, it doesn't matter. But that comes with being proactive, having the experience, having the integrity, and having the professionalism to handle the job. I believe that I have all of that. Again, and I would really appreciate y'all's vote. Thank y'all very much.
In closing, I'd just like to tell everyone thank you for coming out. And again, to the seniors, if you are registered, get out and practice your right to vote. It's going to be your first part of adulthood, and it'll be something that you will do the rest of your life. If you don't vote, you don't have the right to complain. And last but not least, I'm not going to sit up here and promise y'all anything that I can't do, but I will promise you one thing. If you re-elect me as Constable of Jasper County Precinct 6, I will be here for you and will do everything that I can. Thank you.
Thank you for your participation in today's forum. Candidates, your responses have provided valuable insight into your plans for serving our community. Thank you again for answering questions from the student body at Evadale High School. Everyone, please remember that early voting begins next Tuesday, February 20th, and lasts until March 1st. Also, Election Day is on March 5th. I want to thank you all who are here for being a part of this discussion. Goodbye and take care.